Hello everyone, welcome to my video channel Bio Explorer Blaze 3068. We generally discuss about the syllabus of class 11 and 12. Today we shall discuss about the syllabus of class 12 about their course, that is the the course is Human Health and Disease, Chapter 7, and the topic is ASCARIASIS. This is a disease caused by pathogen Ascaris lumbricoides. It is the endoparasite of human's intestine being infected by its larva, which consumed by contaminated vegetables, water, air, and soil. And your syllabus is one part pathogen, next part its life cycle, next part is the symptoms of the disease, and last is the prevention of the disease. We shall now discuss about the morphology of the Ascaris lumbricoides. It is included in the phylum Nemathelminthes, but its another name is Askelhelminthes. The morphology of this very Ascaris lumbricoides is this worm-like structure and resembles with the earthworm. But these are not earthworm. These are endoparasite which is present in the human intestine, I said before. They have sexual dimorphism, which means that they have male body and female body in a separate features. The female one is longer than that of the male. The female is 35 centimeter long and male is 20 centimeter long. But there is difference of the structure, that though they have tapering end at the both end, but in case of the male, the posterior tapering end has got a hook-like structure, which is a distinctive character of the male in difference with the female. They both have the dorsal line. This dotted line is the dorsal line, which indicates that it is the dorsal side and its opposite side is the ventral one. Then I like to say about its mouth. The both mouth is tapering, but when we get a section of this very mouth, then we get this very detailed structure. This is the enlarged view of the head end, and here you see that the structure is globular in cross section. The central pore is mouth, and surrounding it there is 3 lips, 1 dorsal lip and 2 ventrolateral lip. Then I shall show you that here at the end of this very male there is anus. It is a transverse slit, but it is a common pore for emission of stool and semen with sperm. So we should better call it not anus but cloaca. But in case of the female, there is anus here, but their female structure, female pore is in different area, nearly 1/3 of it in the ventral side. Now I shall show you the proper structure, the specimen, proper specimen of the Ascaris lumbricoides, the specimen which was collected in my own laboratory, just to see to the proper specimen. Here you see the proper specimen of Ascaris lumbricoides. This one is the male or female, you have to decide that its tapering mouth is here and its body tail point is here, and the tail point has a hook like structure, and its length, I have arranged the scale for your proper identification of length. It is 0 centimeter, and here is the 20 centimeter. When it is properly stretched, then it will reach the 20 centimeter point. Now, how can you differentiate this one? How can you recognize this one? As its tail point is hook like structure, then it is sure that it is male. And here in this point is the anus, and near it very fine hair like two structure is there, which is known as the pineal seta. Then I shall like to enlarge it, make it zoom. Then you see its alimentary canal is properly seen, because its cuticle is very transparent, and it has got the transverse line. You will see here, you will get its transverse line body. And the internal part, the alimentary canal, is properly seen through it, which is being reflected by light. This one is going, this is the alimentary canal which is present inside it. Then now we shall go about its anatomy. Come to the board. Then, as the anatomy of these Ascaris lumbricoides, we shall see that they have male and female total structure. This is the male, which is present above. It is drawn above, and it is the female. The testis is so long. This green colored part is the testis, which is lying at the anterior part of the body cavity. This is the total body cavity, and within this, these testes on the both sides are present, but I have drawn one side. These two testes are a long tube-like structure which ends at this very point. It is known as the sac-like pineal sac, within which it pours its semen and with sperm, and it is continued with these very copulatory spicules which are present here. But in case of the female, here we see in the body cavity, these two ovaries are settled here. It is also a long tube-like structure, but which is slightly expanded at its anterior end, and it is termed as the uterus. Both uterus unites towards anterior part, but just before the joining they are termed as the seminal vesicle, and in this the semens are collected, and this is the female passage, genital passage. It is known as the vagina, and which ends at the pore and known as the genital pore, female genital pore, and guarded by two valves. This longitudinal structure or slit is termed as the vulva. But at time of the mating, these spicules enters at this point. I said that the female genital pore is present anteriorly from mouth, 1/3 of the body. But in case of the male, its male organ is present at the last point. But at the time of the reproduction, copulation, this male structure introduced within this very passage, and the copulation ended. The semen with sperm are poured in this very vagina, and it is glided to this very seminal vesicle, where it stores for 1 hour only. After 1 hour, it goes towards this very uterus. And here, previously, the ovum is stored, and they are fertilized by the sperm. Thus, the fertilization is over. Next comes its life history. It should be taken a separate video. I like to this video end here. Thank you. Wait for it. Hello everyone. Now we shall start the life history of ASCARIASIS, which is the second point of the syllabus. The second point of the syllabus is the life history or the life cycle. This is the life history of ASCARIASIS. Now it is described here in very simple way that it will help you to realize very quickly, and you can remember it very easily. It is no doubt a very complicated process, but we have displayed it in a very simple way. Just to follow that, and these are pointed 1, 2, 3, 4 wise. So either any question set, you can get answer from which stage the answer will be done. Now you see here, in an infected person, it is the point 1. In an infected person's intestine, the adult female ascaris lays a huge number of ova or the eggs. It is 20,000 a day. In some book, it is also written 200,000 a day, and are fertilized in the upper part of the uterus, which have been shown before. It is the upper part of the uterus. Here, the fertilization occurs. Then, the second point is that very fertilized egg is covered by a cell of chitin to resist enzyme and digestive juice of the host, that it should not be digested like the food. You have to see that the sperm of the very ascaris is not like others. It has no tail, but it has only a triangular structure. And ova is this very globular structure, and it has chitinous outline with a spiny surface. And inside it is the nucleus, and cytoplasm is here. When this is fertilized, then it forms the zygote. The zygote, without being segmented, that means it does not form the morula, gastrula, etc., they are expelled in this form through the stool in open land, soil, etc., where sanitation is not well maintained, that is, in the villages, where the man goes for latrine in the other lands, etc., open space, etc. For that, there the embryo formation in the soil is completed in 2 weeks only. Then embryo forms. This is a RAB-DT form larva. Very important one. RAB-DT form larva within eggs. And this RAB-DT form larva is named as its pharynx has a racket-like structure. I like to show you this one. It is the RAB-DT structure, that is the badminton's racket-like structure. And as this structure is original in the Rhabditia species, in the order Rhabditia, so this type of embryo as is present here in case of lumbricoides, then it is known as the rhabditiform larva. It is important question. This important question, rhabditiform larva, where is present and why it is so named? In some books and some videos, etc., someone is telling that rhabdity means rod-like. Actually, rhabdity means racket-like. Forms the larva within eggs. And these eggs, when drained with water to the so many vegetable gardens, etc., then it is contaminating the vegetables, water, and they are totally contaminated form. The infection is the 4 point. The infection is direct and there is no indirect way. Only the ovum, which has formed the zygote, then from the rhabditiform larva, and it is entering the vegetables, water, air, soil, etc. Then it is infection is direct by consuming raw vegetables and water. The eggs with larva enters into the alimentary canal of man, and we should call better this man as the second man, which is infected by the larva of ASCARIASIS born by the first man. Next, this second man is infected by taking these very vegetables. You see here, I have drawn this very carrot, cabbage, and a basket within which there are so many vegetables are present, and it is consumed by this very person, the second man. When it enters into the body of the second man, then what happens? Now hatching is done there in their body of second man. The embryos are not hatched in the stomach of the second person and pass on to his intestine. Here they are hatched within 2 hours, probably by mechanical injury and not by biological hatching. I have drawn this very elementary canal of a man. That is, it is esophagus, it is stomach, and this is the intestine, then it is the large intestine. Then in the stomach, they are not hatched. Then what happened? Now they goes to the intestine, where it is hatched within 2 hours in a mechanical injury and not by biological hatching. Then what happens in the alveolar intestine? It is drawn here. In the intestine, the larva burrows mucous membrane and enter into the hepatic portal vein. This is the hepatic portal vein. Why it is called hepatic portal vein? Now the vein arises from the capillary bed of the intestine and forms this very vein, which again forms the vein. This vein again forms the capillary bed in the liver. As this vein has capillary on the both end, so it is the portal vein. And as it is related with the liver, then adjective of the liver is the hepatic should be added here, and it will be named as hepatic portal vein. Then this larva burrows mucous membrane and enter into the hepatic portal vein, which is ending in the liver. Thus the larva, 7th point, then the larva enters liver and stay there for 4 to 5 days. After completion of the 5 days, then it comes out and search its way through the hepatic vein. This hepatic vein enters and joins with this very main posterior vena cava or inferior vena cava or postcaval vein. 3 names are there. And this enters into the heart of human, the second person, and the larva passes to the inferior vena cava by hepatic vein. Then 9 is then to the right atrium. From right atrium, it runs to the right ventricle, then pulmonary artery. I am showing this passage. Then from this liver, the larva passes through the hepatic vein to the postcaval vein or inferior vena cava or posterior vena cava. Then it enters to the right atrium of the heart. From right atrium, it goes to the right ventricle. From right ventricle through the pulmonary artery, it goes to the 2 lungs. And entering into the lungs, then it remains within the alveoli. Here is very important function is going on. What happens? Now then to lungs, alveoli, there occurs its molting and development. This is the question. Where the molting and development occurs in Ascaris lumbricoides, then the answer is in the alveoli. When its development is complete, then it crawls on towards the bronchus, and that is by burrowing through the alveoli and reaching the bronchus. From bronchus, it will make passage through the trachea. Then to the glottis, the opening of the larynx is the glottis. That glottis opens in the pharynx. This is the mouth of the second person. And there it enters into the buccal cavity. Then from there it again enter into the intestine through the esophagus. Then it reach pharynx. From pharynx to esophagus. From esophagus to stomach. and then to the intestine. When it reaches intestine, what happens then? Then in intestine, they get matured and the next life cycle will commence for the third man. Thus, the life cycle of the Ascaris lumbricoides thus ends. Thank you all.